Can you work to pay your fees as an international student in the UK? That is the big question in the room, and I'm here to give my 2 cents. Hey stars, welcome back to our channel. It's your girl Solis or just If you've seen this channel for the first time, please hit the subscribe button, and I promise you, you won't regret subscribing to this channel. You won't regret joining the community of stars. I was an international student in the UK, although came in through scholarship. I worked and I have had experience, and I'm here to answer your question of if you can actually pay your fees as an international student working in the UK. And what I mean is that you are in the UK and you have zero contribution to your fees before coming here. Like, you have zero budget, you have zero savings, you want to come here, work completely to pay your fees. Is this something that it's possible? I want to start my analysis from the work that you can do as an international student and how much you can actually make as an international student, and then the fees of international students and fees of home students. So let me start from the fees. So for international students, if you know already, they pay way higher. They pay higher tuition fees than home students in the UK. So home students in the UK are UK citizens, people who are citizens of the UK. They are not expected to pay more than some certain amount, no matter how expensive that course is. That course can be law, medicine, architecture, electrical engineering, business science, nursing. Mention the course. No matter how expensive that particular course is, their fees is capped at £9,600. I guess I'll check and put it on the screen. Yeah, it's capped at that, so it means they can't pay more than the 9,500 or 600 or thereabout. But for international students, you pay way higher. Like, your fee starts from 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and you can pay up to 30,000 and even more than. Yes, so international students pay higher, so you ought to know that. The number one question I want to ask you from here is, you have to know how much your fees are. How much is your fees? Are you going to be paying 15,000? Are you going to be paying 16,000? Are you going to be paying 20,000? What is the amount of your fees? And no matter the amount of your fees, let's talk about how much you can actually earn as an international student before you can even decide and weigh if you can pay your fees. As an international student in the UK, you can work for 20 hours a week, yeah, and you can earn from £9 and above if you are 25-year-old older. You can work and you can get paid £9.50 and above to £12 to £13, and you can work 20 hours a week. Yes, a student is limited to 20 hours a week. That is the law. That is what is stipulated for students in the UK who are coming to work. So you are only expected to work for 20 hours every week. And if you work for 20 hours every week, I'm going to say the average amount of money you can earn is £10 per hour every time. You can get more than that, but I'm just going to use that £10 as the average because, of course, you always get that £10. So if you work for £10 an hour and you work for 20 hours every week, you are rest assured that you're going to be making £200 that week. So if you work all your hours in a week, you can make up to £200. And if you make £200 every week in a month, which is 4 weeks, it means you can make up to £800 every month. If you work up to £800 every month and you are doing maybe a 1 year course for masters, that is now £8,600 that you can earn in a year as a student working. So if you see a course and you're paying 11,000, 12,000, can you actually work to pay this money? Well, you can work to raise up to 9,600, but the challenge is, will your school wait for you to earn this money before you pay them? So that is why sometimes coming here to work to pay your fees is not actually realistic, because the school is not going to be waiting for you to earn £800 and give them this month. The next month you earn £800 and give them this month. No, The highest many school do is to tell you that, oh, we're going to give you three times instrumental payment, so you are able to pay it three times. That's the highest they can do for you. They can't say, okay, be paying it monthly when it's not rent. They can't say that. So that's like the main challenge. Even if you can earn a lot of money, even if you can earn up to £9,600, will your school accept that you pay them every month? That's why sometimes coming here to work to raise your fees is not realistic. Say you have backup plans like, okay, I have somebody who borrow me the money, then I can work to pay the person. I agree. Or I have half of the money which I'll use to deposit to my school, then pay the rest. I agree. But coming here without anything, without £0 to work to pay your fees, it is not realistic. It is no, you can't do that. You're going to put yourself under mental stress, mental pressure. And if you're not careful, your admission will be withdrawn, your visa will be withdrawn, and you'll be sent back home. Yes. So although you can earn up to £9,600, you can earn up to that amount, but you can't earn that to pay your fees. No. So what I would advise is that you have a budget. You have a budget. Make sure have like half of your fees. Then when you're coming, you now try to pay the rest. Another challenge is accommodation and feeding and transportation. Accommodation is the main thing. If you come in, do you already have accommodation? Do you have someone that you can stay with? Or you've already budgeted money for accommodation? Or is your plan also to work to pay for your accommodation? You have to put that into consideration. The cheapest accommodation you can get in the UK right now is £300, ranges from £300 to 400. And then if you want something a bit comfortable, it starts from 500. Yeah, that's like the cheapest. So are you also planning to also take out your accommodation money when you come out of the work that you're going to do? You should know that that is not also realistic. So from what I've said, you have to like calculate the amount of money that you intend to spend on accommodation, on rent, on transportation, on feeding. You have to put that down, and then budget fees. So my advice is that you have half of your fees before you come. I've met people here who have been under pressure to pay up their fees or get their admissions terminated. Oh my God, it's crazy. And some, because of this pressure, they are always working, or trying to pay fees. Some now end up working more than 20 hours, which is like the stipulated hours. I don't know. There are implications to everything here, and you don't want to be caught in that situation. I don't advise, even if you want to, it's all to you, but I don't advise. And then they are under pressure, they want to work more than 20 hours. Some, they are under pressure and they can't even meet up with their coursework. They fail their courses. And if you fail courses, postgraduate visa, you can't get it. That's the truth. If you fail your course, there's no way you can get postgraduate visa. So many people have been, put under that pressure to meet up to paying fees. Actually, seriously, you don't want to be in that position. So what I advise people is, if you come in here, if you plan to come to study, what you want to do is aside the money for your accommodation, aside the money for your transportation, aside the money for your visa. What you should do is to ensure you have like half of your fees. If your fees is £11,000, make sure you have £5,500, untouchable, that you use to pay your fees. So you deposit that, pay that half. Then you can now work towards paying the rest £5,500. If not, you may end up not being able to pay. Even if you don't have that £5,500, have somebody that wants to give it to you. Yes, okay, if you come, I'm going to give you £5,500 to pay for your fees. Have that half down. If you have it, you can now strive and work to earn the rest £5,500, which you can do, let's say, in 5 months or thereabouts. In 5 months of work, you should be able to raise £5,500, 5 months or 6 months. So I always advise that you have half of your money. Don't listen to people who say you come here, work, and pay your fees. It's not as easy as they said, because you came to school, there is school activity, and you have limits to the number of work that you can do. It's not like you can work to infinity. You have limits to the number of work that you can do. So you need to put all this into consideration before you decide to come. So this is my opinion. This is my opinion from my experience, from what I've witnessed here and from what I've seen here. You can't raise your fees 0 to 11,000, from 0 to 12,000. You can't do it except you have something before you come. You can't actually raise it and pay and meet up with the payment. You can't do it. So have a backup plan, have your savings, or have somebody that wants to give you before you come. If you listen to people who say, oh, you come here and then you work, then you save money, process visa, save money, and then do transportation, get an accommodation, and you come and you enter a school and you come and you don't have your way of paying your fees, you don't have any plans of paying your fees, you want to come here and work before you pay your fees, it's not possible. Okay, so if you have any other question you want me to address particularly on this topic, please put it in the comment section and I'll make a separate video to talk about it. But the situation is what I've just analyzed. The situation in which I answered the question is what I analyzed. Coming here to raise your fees from zero to from the scratch and then meeting up with the payment is not possible. You can't meet up with the payment. This is not intending to discourage anybody, because people always have a way of saying, oh, people in the UK, they have a way of discouraging. No, nobody's discouraging you from coming. We are telling you the reality so that you learn and make plans before you come. Okay, so that's like the main thing. Make plans before you come. Don't just come and be stranded here. You will not have family members. Only you will be depressed. Nobody will check on you. Everybody is hustling to do their own thing. So that's it. And if you have any other question, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you again in next video. Goodbye.